So today's video, I'm going to show off something that this particular set is like just over 20 years old. Now looking at it, you think it's going to be a VHS, don't you? It sort of looks and feels like it's a VHS set. It isn't. It is a triple disc Pearl Harbor DVD edition Region 2. It's called Pearl Harbor The Ultimate Edition. Firstly, I don't know if I'm going to call it the Ultimate Edition, but I'll get into that a little bit more when I start to dissect what's in this set. So Pearl Harbor, the Michael Bay directed, Jerry Bruckheimer produced film. I like it. I like Pearl Harbor. It's a film I've not revisited for a while. It's got an amazing cast. Tom Sizemore, Ben Affleck, Alec Baldwin, Josh Hartnett, Ewan Bremner, tons, Kate Beckinsale. There's loads. The cast list is pretty impressive. This is clearly riding on the coattails of Titanic. Titanic takes a historical event, puts a love story in it. Titanic goes on to be the biggest movie of all time for a while. Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay put their heads together and go, what else can we do? A historical epic that's got a love story in it. I know, Pearl Harbor. I think it works. I think the film's fine. Over the years, it has become one of those movies that it's kind of cool to bash and say how terrible it is. But I think it's fine. It's a 3-hour epic. So it's not the shortest film in the world, but love it or hate it is your decision. These videos aren't trying to persuade you to enjoy a film if you didn't enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, though, you're going to be a little bit curious about this edition. Now, Pearl Harbor has come out a few times over the years. Originally, it was a 2-disc release, which I'd picked up. I think it was Buena Vista that had it here in the UK. Film on one, some extras on the other. It's fine, not a problem. Then there was I think it was called a Vista series, a Region 1 Ultimate set, which has exactly the same cover art as this. So I got a bit confused when I saw this. I'm like, oh, I know exactly which one I'm getting. This is different to that. I will go into more details as to why. Now, the Vista release, which was over 20 years ago as well, contained a director's cut of Pearl Harbor. Now, the running time was only a few minutes difference, maybe 5 minutes maximum. But there was a lot of alternate footage used in the film. So the Pearl Harbor, if you've seen the theatrical version, you know the tone of the film, you know how much graphic violence there isn't in the film. It's not that sort of movie. The director's cut made it that sort of movie. So the scene that sticks to mind the most is during the battle scene where, and I can't remember which character it is. I haven't seen this film for like 20 years or just under 20 years. One character has found another character that has been injured in the blast. He sort of comforts him, talks to him, he dies. It's all very 1950s television shot type thing, that particular scene. However, in the Vista Michael Bay director's cut, you see innards. So you do see exactly what's happened to the guy. So it is a bit more graphic. Running time, the director's cut doesn't run much longer. There's a few more swear words in it, but it's not a massive difference to the theatrical, other than you probably wouldn't sit your little kids down to watch the director's cut of Pearl Harbor. You would sit them down and watch the theatrical version, which is the one in this set. I'm a sucker for director's cuts and extended cuts. I've seen the Vista series, Pearl Harbor director's cut. I prefer the theatrical one. So it's on one of those occasions where the director's cut doesn't improve the film. It in fact makes it a little bit less enjoyable to watch. So I was under the impression that this UK release, the Ultimate Edition, would in fact be the Ultimate Edition and it would contain that director's cut as well. Didn't necessarily think it was going to contain the theatrical and the director's cut, because that one would be quite tricky. With it having lots of alternate footage, the branching system would be a bit weird for that time to have done that. But I thought that with this having the same cover art, and it being called the Ultimate Edition, that this would contain that director's cut. It does not. This contains a theatrical version of the film. So we're going to start delving into this. So it's a nice cardboard sleeve. It does look and feel a similar size. It probably is the same size as a VHS box, to be honest. So we open it up. On the back, we have stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. And I'll put that over here. Now we've got another cardboard sleeve. So that's all this is. A cardboard sleeve contains 2 plastic DVD cases. So obviously we're all familiar with what these are. Contains 2. Disc 2 and 3 contains the special features. Disc 1 contains the movie. Let's say it is the theatrical version. The director's cut was actually split over 2 discs because on the director's cut there were 3 full-length commentaries, which were really good. I listened to those back in the day. The first commentary was by Michael Bay and also a historian, Janine Basinger, and that was an interesting thing. So obviously from Michael Bay's point of view, you got to hear about the production of the film, and from the history point of view, Janine talked you through the movie. There was also a second commentary by Ben Affleck, Alec Baldwin, and Josh Hartnett, and producer Jerry Bruckheimer. Now, Jerry Bruckheimer is always good to listen to on commentaries. I have a whole bunch of Bruckheimer commentaries that I've listened to over the years. And the third commentary was by a cinematographer, John Schwartzman, a production designer, Nigel Phelps, costume designer, Michael Kaplan, supervising art director, Martin Lang, and Hans Zimmer, the music composer. Hans Zimmer does an amazing score for Pearl Harbor. It is one of the scores that I do listen to semi-often. So they were all over the director's cut. So on this disc, there are no commentaries whatsoever. So we just get disc 1, the film on one disc, 175 minutes long it runs for, and 0 commentaries. So there are no extras at all on this first disc. So that is a bit of a shame. We do get a booklet, which is fine. I mean, there's a little booklet there, a few pictures and stuff. So it goes into the making of the film and obviously tells you a little bit about the history and stuff as well. I forgot Cuba Gooding was in this movie as well. It's one of the high marks of his career. So we've got these. There we go. So we got that. Chapter selections, 44 chapters in the movie. Always annoys me when they call it the Ultimate Edition, because it ain't, because it's missing the commentaries and also the director's cut. Now disc 2 and disc 3 are housed in this. The special features between this and the director's cut do appear to be the same. So I've made lots of notes here about what we've got on disc 2. So disc 2 is made up of a whole bunch of featurettes. Looks to be about a dozen featurettes that are on here. They total 62 minutes and 19. I have seen the making of on the Vista ones, and the making of it's really good. A lot of the attack sequences and stuff, the filming of that was filmed from boats and stuff. So it's pretty impressive making of to watch. We also get the Faith Hill music video, and there's a little bit of history stuff in there as well, including a 45-minute documentary called 1 Hour Over Tokyo, which was originally shown on the History Channel at some point, obviously previous to the movie. Disc 3, we get more special effect featurettes on this one. We get interactive attack sequences, 4-angle options, so we could choose which angle we watch that from. That totals 27 minutes and 38. So that's pretty good. And there's a deconstructing destruction. Try to say that when you're drunk. It's a conversation on visual effects. That has Michael Bay and Eric Brevig in. That is a 21-minute featurette all about the visual effects of Pearl Harbor. Now, Pearl Harbor does have some, like it or not, there are some amazing visual effects, including the money shot with the bomb falls out the plane and you follow it all the way down to impact. And there's a whole bunch of galleries and images, and I think featurette wise, the other couple of interesting ones on disc 3, there is a 15-minute featurette on the boot camp where it's Josh Hartnett, Ben Affleck, and Ewan Bremner. So showing what they've gone through. Boot camps were a thing. I don't know when the boot camp started. I think the first time I heard of a filmmaker doing a boot camp was Oliver Stone's Platoon, where they sort of take the actors and break them down and turn them into soldiers, and then turn them into soldiers who can act, and actors who can soldier. So there's a 15-minute featurette on that. And then there was an officer's boot camp which features Alec Baldwin, and that's only around 6 minutes, but that is fun to watch. So this is a really good addition. It's well packaged. It's got a lot of content on it. The upside is, I think, the packaging and the special features. The downside, of course, is that the 3 commentaries are missing. That's my biggest downfall. I would like to have owned a copy of those. I did have the Vista series DVD at one point, but that has long since vanished, or, you know, who knows, we lose so many DVDs over the years, don't we? So it would be the ultimate edition for me if it contained a director's cut, or at least the option to watch a director's cut, and those 3 commentaries that I very much enjoyed. You can pick this set up quite cheap now. I picked this up this weekend, actually, so, you know, mid-July, anybody who's watching this video. This was £4 on Music Magpie, including postage. So I did see, because I've been racking my brains thinking, what are the coolest box sets that I could possibly do videos on that don't cost a crazy amount of money, because I don't have any. And I saw the cover art for this, and I'm like, well, it's the same cover art that I remember the director's cut being on. It says it's Ultimate Edition, and so I was sort of thinking it might also be the director's cut, because it's got a 15 certificate on it. The original Pearl Harbor, I believe, was 12. But if we look at the special features disc, that is certified 15. But the movie disc is certified 12, which does indicate that this is the theatrical version. I have checked as well the footage and the running times, and sad to say, that is the theatrical version. But it is a superior version of the film. So if you are after revisiting Pearl Harbor, or you want to upgrade a previous DVD with extra features and whatnot, then you can do far worse jumping online and picking this up for a small amount of money. So I thought I would show this video off for you today. And whether you like Pearl Harbor or whether you don't, this is a pretty cool box set in my opinion.